This is my mate, Oscar. I met Oscar when I was at university and we are still friends now. Oscar, how are you?
Very good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. So, where did we meet? Where and when? Do you remember? I remember. Do you remember?
We met outside a pub in Cathays, which was the area that we lived. Do I need to explain all that? Or
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, when just before tour, when you were walking with Tommy.
Yeah, I was with our other mate, Tommy, and we bumped into each other. And because I had been on my year abroad when you were at uni. So I had heard of you, but I didn't know you yet. And we were about to go on tour, like you said. So we went to Belgium to play a water polo tournament. And we were going as quite a big group. How many of us were there?
35, 40, something like that.
Yeah, so we went on a big coach that was quite fun. I think it was like 3 or 4 days or something.
Yeah,
like that,
3 nights.
which was pretty cool. So we met right before tour and then became friends on tour. And then after that was my last year of uni, my 4th year of uni. And it was your
Third, yeah.
3rd year of uni. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had 4 years.
Because I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to out you on the thing. I was thinking, but you did your 1st year and then retook a year, right?
Yeah, well, I changed course.
Oh yeah.
So I did 2 first years, which is pretty good fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you didn't retake. It wasn't that bad. You didn't. You didn't fail 1st year.
No.
So in the UK, your 1st year of university doesn't actually count towards your overall grade, your overall mark, and all you need to do is just pass. But the pass mark, the level for a pass is quite low. So I think it's almost, is it 40?
40%, yeah.
40%, yeah. And most people tend to get between 60 and 75% in most assessments. So yeah, getting 40 is, in your 1st year of uni is quite bad in the UK. But you're not actually, I don't know, I was about to say you're not from the UK. You are from the UK, but you didn't grow up here. Do you want to explain that?
So originally I'm from Scotland and England because my dad's Scottish and my mum's English. But I was born in London and then grew up out in Dubai in the UAE, where I lived for 18 years and then moved back to the UK for university.
What age were you when you went to Dubai?
Like as soon as I got my passport, so like 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say it as soon as I came out. Right off to Dubai. Yeah. Okay, yeah, still pretty young then.
Yeah, pretty. So Dubai was my home for growing up. That's all I knew till I got to 18.
And you went to an international school, wasn't it?
Yeah, international school, English speaking. But that was it. International, British/American curriculum.
So did you do, what are they called?
I did GCSEs for when I was that age, like 16, and then for my like hires or 6th form, I did international baccalaureate.
That's what it was. Yeah, IB. Yeah, international baccalaureate. And so was it just British and American people that went, or was
it was mixed?
A very international school.
Very international. They're probably broken down. It would be like 20% sort of British people, maybe 5% Americans, 10% locals, and then sort of 20% Indian, Pakistani, or like Asian. And then sort of other people just filled in the missing bits, like a few Russian people, a few South Africans.
All over.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Pretty mixed. It was great fun.
And how did Dubai? This is quite a deep, not a deep question, I guess. Quite quite a big question. How did Dubai change over your life? Because 18 years is a very long time, and I feel like Dubai has changed quite a lot.
It was good. So obviously as a kid you don't really realise what's happening around you, and then sort of I remember the Burj Khalifa, the big building, was being built just as my sister was born, and it was like, you know, we literally watched it go up. We watched downtown turn busier. The roads just got bigger and with more people. It was sort of, the city became more and more of a city. Literally, as we grew up, the desert became further and further out to get to. It was harder to sort of move around the place, but then there was more to do. It was good. It was nice to watch the city grow as sort of we did.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I imagine it's very different to live in Dubai and grow up in Dubai. Very different to going there on holiday or going there because you're an ultra wealthy influencer.
Yeah, that side of Dubai is not sort of. I mean, if you want to, then you can sort of go and hang out and go to those places. But the majority of us growing up didn't. We enjoyed the more community stuff. It's pretty. Well, I imagine it's more similar to the UK, going over to friends' houses, going out on camping trips, playing sport. It was not about flashiness and what cars, you know, you drove. Most people in my school drove pretty normal cars. No one was coming in like Lamborghinis or
none of that.
Yeah.
And what I think you guys at home will find quite interesting from a language perspective is you a second ago said downtown, and that is really American. So in the UK, we would never describe. We would say the city centre, like
downtown. It was a region. It wasn't. It was like you know, like Polseth or.
So
it was literally called downtown. And then there's
okay.
like JBR and stuff. But yeah, I do have a lot of Americanisms in my language.
That's what I was getting onto, because it's an American school. You have a bit of your accent is British.
Yeah.
But you use a lot more Americanisms.
Yeah.
Than we do. Like couch, you always say.
Yeah.
For sofa. That's one that I always remember.
Yeah.
But then would you say pavement or sidewalk?
Sort of depends in what context I sort of see it in. If it's actually paved, then I would call it a pavement. And then if it's just on the side, then I'd call it a sidewalk. Do you know what I mean? Like
I do. I think I'd always call it a pavement though.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And I guess it goes to show that you don't really have to worry too much about which words you learn. But going back to downtown, we would say like city centre or just town. Like I'm going into town, even if it's a city. And if you don't live in the city centre, you'd say, I'm going to go into town, or we're heading into town, something like that. So what did you study at uni?
So my first year was chemistry, and that was bloody awful. It was really hard. Not a lot of fun. Not a lot of actual chemistry as well. It was just a lot of physics and biology, and like, you know, it really took
exactly not what you signed up for.
I was sort of hoping for big sort of fireball explosions like in the labs and stuff, but there's none of that. It was sitting in a room doing equations, which, you know, is for some people, but it's not for me. So then I moved to human geography, which was a lot better. That was just about...
How would you describe human geography? Because you have physical geography, which is like your volcanoes and earthquakes and stuff, and then human geography is...
Which is about like patterns of people and spatial sort of distributions and wealth and like the reasons for development, and like, you know, a lot of looking at sort of colonial past or colonial histories and the impact that has on countries. And
so like a big mix of sociology, history, human development.
Yeah, exactly. It was a cool degree. I learned a lot, I think. It made me a bit like more rounded person.
That's quite nice.
Yeah.
didn't get you a job straight away, though, did
No,
it?
did not. The job market's pretty rough.
Yeah, pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
Well, so how you've been out of uni for a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you do in like September, October time then?
So when I graduated in June or July?
June or July, at the
Yeah,
start of summer.
At the start of summer, I came down to Cornwall for the first time and worked in a cafe on a beach down here. And then when summer ended, I moved up to Edinburgh, which is where my dad's from, to live in my grand's house. And then couldn't find a job, professional job, so started work in a garage as a tyre fitter. And then at the end of winter, like sort of now, I applied to become a lifeguard back down in Cornwall. So I moved back here and I'm starting as a lifeguard tomorrow. I've just had the couple of weeks training.
The medical training, the CAS care, which is short for casualty care.
Yeah.
Which I've done before. It's good. You learn a lot, but it is a lot to remember. But it makes you feel quite...
Pretty confident.
Yeah.
But it was full on. It was hard days in the classroom. Like sort of we did have breaks, but limited breaks, 8 hours a day, full on.
Learning a lot. Yeah. Yeah, because you were down here last summer and then you went up to Edinburgh. Yeah. And then because you went back to Dubai for Christmas, was it? Yeah. So that kind of didn't really help with the whole job situation.
No, it did not. I was sort of working in a cafe when I first moved up to Edinburgh, and that didn't go too well because I went back home, back to Dubai, for 3 weeks or something, and they're like, you can't do this. It's like, oh, all right. But that's when I started in the garage, which was way more fun. It was just cool people, interesting people more than anything. They were
up in Scotland.
Yeah, had to learn how to understand them. They were speaking English, but
didn't sound like English.
Yeah. There are a few new words that I learned, that the Scots use. They'd be talking, and they'd be like, "You ken what I mean." What?
What? You can't? What?
Ken.
You can?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know. I don't know why they use ken instead of no, but every so often they'd be saying something, and instead of saying do you understand? They'd be like, you ken? And he'd be like, yeah.
Yes, I can.
No, you'd never say it like that. It was such a weird sort of regional.
That's weird. Well, I learned something new there. And so you were in the tyre place, and then you've just been full-time unemployed for the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, I had the trial day for the lifeguarding, and then there was sort of 2-3 weeks in between the trial day and the start date. So I've been moving, and then I've been hanging out with my parents because they were back in Scotland.
How often do you see them?
Not very often. Normally it's only Christmas, but and summer actually. Sorry.
Oh, they came here, didn't they?
They came here.
Your family came to Cornwall last year.
Yeah. But the reason they were in Scotland for quite a while was because they weren't too happy about the war going on back in Dubai.
So they came to.
They just...
Well, you were doing the house up in Scotland as well.
Yeah.
Well, not you.
Not me. No.
The house was being done up.
Yeah.
in Scotland.
And so they were supposed to come out to Scotland anyways, but sort of extended their trip to avoid going back when the bombs were actually going. But they're back now.
They're back in Dubai.
Yeah. Having a good old time by the looks of it.
Nice. And didn't you say when you first moved to Scotland, when you first moved up after last summer, that some of the windows weren't...
It was pretty horrendous. Yeah, it was Because I'd had a pretty good summer last year, and was pretty upset about leaving uni, about moving up to Scotland where I didn't really know anyone. And I walked in the house. It was freezing cold. There was no carpet, so it was just wooden planks everywhere. And I don't know if you've seen undercarpets. They've got like little spike strips in all the corners to hold the carpets down. All that was everywhere. So you had to, like, as you're walking up the stairs, you could hear your shoes sort of disintegrating. It's like, oh my God. And then a few weeks later, they took my kitchen windows away. So it was just boarded up, like there was nothing there. The workmen were in at like 7:30 and started hammering at 8 on the dot every morning. So it was rough. pretty brutal. And then the bathrooms went for a while, so I left Scotland at that point. The kitchen went for a while. I also left Scotland at that point.
Yeah, a bathroom and a kitchen are pretty fundamental for a living area, aren't they? A living space. Yeah,
it was hardcore, but it's nice now. The carpet's back, the kitchen's new, bathrooms are new.
Nice.
It's all pretty good.
It's livable.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll end it there before we get on to your plans for after summer, because you'll start crying. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Remember that all of the vocabulary that was popping up on screen will be in the description of the video. Leave us a comment if you have any questions for Oscar, and if you have any topics that you want me to discuss in another video. And I will see you next time.